Alright, cool. Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing Team Kings of Games, and today I'm coming at you guys with an update for Herald of Perfection. This variation should be in the numbers of either 180 something. I have to go back in my videos and rewatch them to see which variation is this, because I kind of just lost count. I should have just been keeping track, honestly, but it happens sometimes. So I really don't remember what variation this is. But there's a lot. There's like so many different builds. I can't just basically decide on one and stick with it. I'm always changing this deck because the format's always adapting. Like new decks are coming out, and then certain hand traps rise and fall in relevance. Like, you know, for example, like Nibiru, Drone Lockbird, you know, Ghost Ogre, those cards, and like Cypher and Gambit, like those are hand traps, for example, that just kind of like rise and fall. So like you have to keep your build accustomed to like the format, and you really have to adapt. So if a card's really prevalent in main deck, then you have to kind of make your build to counter it. But with the ban list really being in full effect now, and some of the worst matchups, I guess, kind of being out of the picture. You know, Colossus being banned is a great thing for me, and Drone Lockbird losing its prevalence just makes me feel very comfortable to play the list that I'm playing. I'm just really happy. Like, I'm able to play some cards that I normally would take out of the fear of running into those cards and not having that out in my hand. This deck doesn't lose to Nibiru ever. It doesn't struggle with that. But there are cards like Cypher and Gear Gamma and Droll and Lockbird, you know, like Ash Blossom, that can sometimes hurt, but really it was Droll. Droll was like the biggest problem, and with it kind of just not really being as relevant and not being as good against almost every deck now, I'm very comfortable with playing the engines that I usually take out for that. So this list is playing Diviner of the Heralds, just so you guys know. So it's not a card that's TCG legal, but I can't play the deck without it now. It's just way too fun with Diviner. You can do so many things, like Needle Fiber is a thing too. Like you can test so many different things. Like I'm still working around the I'm still like in the woodworks with Needle Fiber combos. I'm not sure. I kind of want to keep Needle Fiber like, I don't know, like I really just would have to put in better targets for me to get the maximum value. But like just the fact that Diviner is a tuner, can change its level. You can make like XYZ plays, Zolkin plays, Needle Fiber plays. The card's just insane in this deck. It just opens a whole nother dimension, and it's really consistent. The deck's really consistent. The list is fire. It's pure gas. Going first, going second, obliteration, you guys. This deck is really fire. So yeah, I do have a Patreon, a PayPal, and Cash App in the link description. In addition to that, I have Team Kings of Games t-shirts, medium size and large size, and they're $25 a piece. If you guys want to support my channel, there are numerous ways you can do it, and that really helps me, and it makes me feel more inclined to want to do a specific individual request. But with that out the way, let's go ahead and get to the profile, because yeah, this deck is like super fun. I'm going to show you guys some combos at the end, maybe one or two. And there's too much Herald content on this channel for you to ever feel like, oh, well, can I see a combo tutorial, or can I see, like, I've done so many tests and so many combos, it's ridiculous. But I'm going to showcase them anyways, because some people might not be familiar with Diviners. But 3 copies of Diviner of the Heralds. The card is just insane. It doesn't generate as much advantage as the Geldagra, but I will say it does a lot more for the deck than Geldagra does. Like, because it is a tuner, because it has its ability where even if it's tributed from your hand, so you don't even have to normal summon to get the special summon effect, because it can change its level, because it can dump a fairy from anywhere. It just has that level of versatility that Geldagra unfortunately just does not have. But these are just arguably the best normal summons that you can play in this deck. With Diviner out the picture, absolutely hands down, Geldagra is the best normal summon. So speaking TCG legal, like Geldagra is the card you want to go for, because this card isn't out yet for us, but it's coming. I believe it is. It has to, or I will move to Japan. So these 6 are the best normal summons for the deck. Geldagra with the incantations, which I'm playing again now. I go back and forth on so many different like ratios, so many different engines, because the format, you know, and then like Super Poly being a thing, and it's like, okay, now we can land on Christia so consistent that we don't care about the Super Poly hitting, you know, Saphira and Herald, for example. But yeah, with the incantations in the main deck, Geldagra, you guys, this card is literally a +4 by itself. Like, you can draw Geldagra and like 4 bricks, and you could still go off just with 1 Gale. It's a 1-card combo. I can show you that at the end of the video too. But yeah, you guys, it's pretty simple. You just search Inception and Chalice Slime, and bam, that's combo right there. But these guys absolutely are the normal summons you want to go for, because they do so much. It's crazy. This doesn't do much by itself, but like this paired with any like Dawn of the Herald, Hymn of Light, or even Herald of Perfection himself, or Saphira, you know, for example, like just does so much. It's crazy. Yeah, like these cards are nuts. And then I am maxing out on the Mon Juice. I don't really care about what people say about like normal summons and all that. Like, first of all, these are fairies, so if you ever like normal Geldagra and just happen to have these in hand, you can still tribute this to special for one, and two, these are fairies, and no matter what you do, no matter how good your hand is, you want to summon Herald with a decent amount of fairies. So it didn't matter if you could summon Herald if you weren't going to have that many fairies. So this is still a fairy, these are still fairies. So ultimately, once you committed your normal summon, the extra normal summons are just discard fodder, and it's perfect because that's going to fuel your Eva, and it's going to fuel your Christia plays. It's going to load your graveyard, fuel your Ritual Sanctuary. So I just need to see these, especially with ratios and the deck size. Absolutely maximizing on these, it just helps. Like, I need to see one of these. Like, these are normal summons for going first. When you go second, you want a normal Diviner, or you want a normal summon Gale Dogger, or the sticks and the chairs. These aren't that good going second, but this could still pop cards, this could still pop 2 cards, and the sticks chairs just absolutely destroy boards. They even clear monsters that can be targeted or destroyed. So the Star Seraphs are just ridiculous. But yeah, these cards are standalone. And then continuing, I am playing 2 copies of Talismandra, 2 copies of Candle, and 1 Pencil Plume. The 1 Pencil Plume, I really like it. It's a good flex spot for me because it gives me an additional activation so that I don't have to burn Talismandra in hand, for example. Or if I did the Inception Chalice Slime combo and I was just going off, like I was just really going ham, I could still use Pencil Plume to just add a Benton from graveyard to hand. And that, it pluses me so much. It's crazy. Like, this card also just really helps you in the grind. And it does fix that problem where, like, you had an extra Herald in grave. You don't want them to even use Called by the Grave to bait a negation. Use Pencil Plume to just get it back to your hand. So that way, you know, you make it one of the last cards you discard, so you're not losing to that. So this card just, it actually has a lot of value in this deck. And the only thing I don't like about these is that they're not fairies and that they lock me out the extra deck. But that's why I'm minimizing on them. And normally when I'm comboing off, I just end up having 1 imp on field. And that's really not that bad because Diviner's a card. I have so many targets in it, I can change its level so that no matter what, the levels equal exactly 6 for Herald. So if, for example, I just have Pencil Plume, I can just normal this, dump Eva. It'll gain Eva's level, now it's level 3. Tribute those 2, and that's still going to equal 6. This is just going to be by itself. And Talismandra is the easiest one to get off the field because he is level 6. And also Celestial Observatory with the Chalice Slime is like literally a +2. It's insane. Because you just put them back from the field to bottom of the deck, draw 2, and you're no longer locked out of your extra deck. It's really good. So playing a lower amount of them also just helps you to not struggle with that problem of having too many on the field and wanting to go into your extra deck. So these cards basically are my Ritual Searchers that are monsters. Now I have Ritual Searchers that are spells, but these specifically are the monsters that can search out my combo pieces that I need for Herald. Summoning Herald gives me my combo pieces because I'm triggering Benton, and she's going to search any light fairy. So by summoning Herald, you continue searching out more combo pieces, but normally you want to go for Eva at that point. So I'm just going to go ahead and slide these out. And now these cards are just super good, like Star Seraphs, Scepter, and also Sovereignty. I don't play lists without these. These are just way too powerful. Some people would argue that they break. Some people would argue that they're not worth it. These provide spot removal that this deck doesn't have, which is non-targeting, non-destruction removal because of the Math Mech rank 4 that you can summon. You can absolutely destroy boards going second with these. You summon a Herald, you search for the missing one that you didn't have in your hand, you're going to destroy their board, and if they try to stop this combo, you're going to negate anything. Herald is the ultimate Called by the Grave. He's a walking Called by the Grave for every card in the game. Like, unless it's a spell speed 3, Herald is just going to destroy it. So yeah, these cards just really help with this deck's one of its biggest weaknesses. This deck struggles breaking boards of multiple interruptions. This deck can easily play through interruptions because it has so many powerful cards that generate way too much advantage, and nobody wants you to have a bigger hand than him. But it's baiting the negates and then breaking the board that can be a problem, and that's what these cards really help with. And then I'm playing 2 copies of Eva. Now, Eva can actually search for Diviner, which is actually a really cool interaction because Diviner is a level 2. So there is that synergy there where you can use Eva to actually search Diviner and use Diviner, obviously. Even if you just tribute it to a special summon like one of these from the deck, Eva's just still really insane. And I play 2 because I like dumping 1 from deck oftentimes or summoning 1 off of Diviner and still having an extra 1 to search, and also I play Desire. So just having 2, it just really helps so that you can use 1 for combos and then have another 1 to actually have for like follow-up plays on your opponent's turn, because you can have 7 to like 9 negates. I'm sorry, not 7 to 9 negates. You can have 7 to 8 negates, because even if your hand has 6 fairies, if Eva's one of them, you have 8 negates, which is more cards than your opponent would have in their hand, and that's really overpowering. Like, that's just crazy. In addition to the fact that you can easily summon Appaloosa if you wanted to, which I don't play that card because Herald's better, but you can put 12 negates on the board basically, where you have 6 fairies plus Eva and Appaloosa for 4. Like, this deck can really supersede like the amounts of negates you can put up. Forget infinite negates. I don't need infinite negates. I just need enough negates to negate every card in your hand, and I'm satisfied with that. If I have 6 negates, that's your whole hand. It's gone. And these are targets for Eva, but they also search your combo pieces. So when you draw them, they're still good normal summons too. Like, they're weaker normal summons, but this card is ridiculous. I'd rather play 2 of this than the Petite, but I only have 1 of this, and I have 2 Petites, and I still want these slots to be filled. But you can consider this Petite as the second egg, because egg is superior. It searches Ritual Sanctuary and a Machine Angel, a Machine Angel spell, and the one I play is actually Merciful. So when you go full combo, you tribute the Diviner to special egg from your deck, and you use egg to search either Ritual Sanctuary if you didn't have it, or Machine Angel Ritual if you didn't have it. So it's just the fact that you're searching your draw cards, your search cards, searching your extenders, what makes this deck just so powerful. It's like the most superior ritual deck, like, in my opinion, period. And then I play 1 Arc Lord Christia. Now I'm going to show you guys the ritual monsters, obviously the blue cards, but I do want to let you know that I still do not have Heralds of Perfections. So in my previous deck profile, I was using Lee, the World Chalice Fairy, as my proxy for Herald of Perfection. So just letting you guys know, I still don't have those. Those are long gone from something I didn't know past for my subscribers. But Christia is absolutely mandatory in this deck. Christia counters a lot of the side deck cards that would hurt this deck. Honestly, the only thing that really can hurt this deck is Dark Ruler No More, but Forbidden Chalice is a card. Forbidden Lance is a card, and also Condemned Witch is a card too. So you could side 3 Condemned Witch, you can side a couple Lances, and you could just normal the Witch, and search the Lance, so that when they Dark Ruler No More, you can chain the Lance to target your Herald, make it unaffected by Dark Ruler No More, and you can still tribute the Condemned Witch under Dark Ruler No More for cost. It'll resolve engrave, and you could summon the Barrier statue, for example, or like a Star Seraph to get more fairies. So it's a really good way to counter Dark Ruler. So basically, the only card that naturally would stop this deck, you have a counter, so this deck can actually be unstoppable. If you draw the right hand, there's no way you're going to lose. So these are the Herald of Perfections. It really hurts to even be showing Lee as Herald, but these are 3 copies of Herald of Perfection. You really want to play 3 because you can summon multiples, and also Pot of Desires. I play Desires in my list, but even then, I still would play 3. He's the king of the deck. And then I'm playing 3 copies of Vinton. Hiya! Princess Katana, she's just insane. Like, this card is really, really broken. She's not once per turn. She searches any light fairy in the game. And also, Diviner of the Heralds dumps any light fairy from your deck or your extra deck to the grave. So, like, this deck just has so many powerful broken cards. I wouldn't want it to be meta because that wouldn't be fair for anybody. And then I have 1 copy of Saphira. The reason why I'm comfortable with playing Saphira again is because the incantations do allow you to search extra combo pieces. So when you already have your combo pieces for Herald, you can just use the imps to search out the Saphira, vice versa with Diviner. And Saphira just allows you to do the hand loop. I like doing the 2-card hand loop with the Star Seraph. You can rip one off the Mathnic, rip one off Saphira, and your grind game's insane with this card. You can keep adding Eva from your grave to your hand. Use Eva to get the +2. It's just really, really good. The one weakness is it can make you susceptible to Super Folly if they play Mud Dragon, but that's if you don't drop Christia. And there's no way you're not dropping Christia if you triggered Benton multiple times. Because if you summon Herald and you summon Saphira, that means you triggered Benton at least twice. And that's more than enough because you have so many ways to load your grave. So Saphira, the Queen of the Dragons, is insane, you guys. She's a really, really insane powerhouse. And she's the sword and Herald is the shield. It's like the ultimate board. And this is the last blue card. Inception paired with the Child Slime is what makes Skeldogger so disgusting. But Child Slime himself is naturally by nature. I use him like an extender instead of a starter. So if you need a Bane hand traps, you can play him first. But I like using him last so that I'm not locked out of the extra deck if I don't have a way to clear the imps. And also when a certain card gets ashed, like Preps gets ashed, or Pre-Prepped even gets ashed, or they imperm your normal summon, you still have another way to search what you were trying to search anyways without using a normal summon. So he's really a card you want to save for mid to either the middle or the end of your combo. Because this is a ritual deck, but it actually does combo off. Like, every time you summon Herald, you're comboing off with Diviner. It's crazy. So now I'm going to showcase you guys my spells. I'm playing 3 copies of Las Vegas. This field spell is disgusting, you guys. It literally, like, You can plus so hard off of it after you resolve it the first time because it's an inherent neg 1. But after you resolve it the first time and it stays on the field, you start plussing off of it undeservedly. Like, it's so good. It rewards you for staying in the grind game. It can revive Herald from the grave if it gets Solemn Strike. Like, they can clear your board under Dark Ruler no more, but not OTK you. You can use this to just revive Herald. And once it's already active, they can't really like negate it unless they have something that negates the effect. So they have like Vortex or like, you know, something like that. They can't negate it while in field. So you can summon Herald back even if they Dark Rulered you and broke your board. And once Herald's up on the field, you can just start playing any cards you want and they can't stop you because you can negate anything with Herald. This card's just so broken, you guys. And having lower level fairies like Eva and Diviner and the level 2s just gives you so much fuel for this. Like, because it's easy to resolve this as an extender to Link Climb, to Synchro Climb. Oh, it's just so broken. And then we have 3 copies of Pre-Preparation of Rites, the best spell card in the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! I can't believe this card even exists. And then we have 3 preps. So I always say pre-prep's better going first, but this is way better going second because a smart player will negate your ritual spells and you can easily just activate this, get it right back, and play it again, and you're just baiting negations. It's so good. This card is ridiculous going second in this deck because people are scared of Herald. Like, if you aren't scared of Herald, you just haven't played against this deck. That card is scary, yo. Like, nobody wants to get paired up against a Herald of Perfection player. And he summons Herald Christia turn 1. You literally cannot play the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, the only thing you're doing is normal summoning and passing at that point, or praying that you had a Dark Ruler no more in your main deck. So now we have 3 copies of Extra Foolish Burial. This card is an inferior Preparation of Rites, I would say, or an inferior Child Slime, because it does make you pay half your life points, but it does have an added benefit. It can pop cards going second because of the Elder Entity, and load your graveyard by dumping Herald of the Arclight. So it's inferior in the sense that it costs life points. The drawback doesn't matter because you really don't want to set. The only time you want to set is when you're side decking, trying to play around Dark Ruler no more, so you want to side deck the Forbidden Lance, right? So what you want to do is side these out for the Lance and the Condemn Witch so that you can set the Lance and counter the Dark Ruler. But this card is insane. It outs Floodgates. It can bait negations. Like, they might not negate this, but they're going to have to negate the Elder Entity. It's just really insane. It just adds more fairies to your grave. This plus Diviner of the Heralds can easily get you to Christia. It's just so broken. Like, oh my goodness, this card just, whew, man, this deck is gas, you guys. It really is. So these are the 12 Searcher spells, and these all get you your ritual combo pieces that you need, in addition to the, you know, the incantations and all your powerful normal summons. And then we have 3 copies of Pot of Desires. This deck is just all gas, no breaks. All your powerful combo pieces are at 3, and you only need 1 Herald to win the game. We have 3 copies of Celestial Observatory. This card is really valuable when you play the incantations, because when you have Child Slime, you can just discard himself, summon Talismandra, search a Ben 10, for example, activate this, put Talismandra from your deck, from your field to the bottom of your deck, draw 2. Now you just went from 2 cards to 3, so that's an inherent +1, and you can summon from your extra decks. This card is just really, really good. I played 2 Mercifuls. You can get away with 1, but I really like the second copy. Even if it wasn't banished off Desires, I find myself searching it multiple times. It's searchable off of the Petite. I'm sorry, not the Petite, but the Cyber Egg Angel. And Cyber Egg Angel can be special from your deck off of... it's crazy. It can be special off of Diviner or even searched off of Eva. So there's just like too many ways to get this card. Like, even if you just Eva on your opponent's turn, search for Egg, you know, search for Egg, pitch Egg. You can revive it from the grave off of Sanctuary in your next turn. Search this and just plus. It's crazy. Like Tribute Ben 10, draw 2, search another Eva. It's so good. And it puts your bricks from your hand to the bottom of your deck. I don't find that to be a bad card. I don't find that to be like a drawback or a bad interaction. Because if I have an extra Geldagra, I don't want that in my hand anyways. I'd rather trade it. So it also lets you trade your bad cards for better cards and get a search off Ben 10 on the follow-up, which is just broken. Like if you hard drew, you know, for example, one of your bricks, or you just drew one too many cards, or for example, you drew one of your Eva targets, you could just put it back. So this card's just really insane. And if you're trying to play around Desires, it can help with that. Like, it's really good. And the ritual spells, I'm playing 3 Dawn of the Heralds, 1 Hymn of the Light, and 1 Incantation Inception. And that's going to be the main deck. So I'm just going to slide these, and let me check the timer real quick, because I do want to show you guys that combo, that Wombo combo. I'm going to get to that extra deck. So I finally have Solomon Great Almirash, thanks to Dual Overload. Thank you. So for extra deck, we have 3 Herald of the Arclight. You can actually make this off Diviner, although I don't recommend it because it turns your Herald of Perfection off. That sucks. You can't even have all the Heralds next to each other. Like, This Herald's terrible, by the way. I just want to just go ahead and put it out right now. I have the real one, but I still like the prismatic version. This card is terrible. It sucks. The only benefit it has is it can negate cards that Herald can't negate. Herald can't negate cards that are already activated, and he can't negate effects of spells and traps in the graveyard. But he can always negate monster effects. But if a spell or trap uses its effect, Herald can't stop it, and that kind of sucks. So you need this just for when you're playing against decks like True Draco, for example, you know, or other decks where their spells and traps have graveyard effects, and this can just negate them for you. You won't really ever be able to get its other effect. Like, nobody's gonna pop this card, honestly. It has 600 attack. It's very unrealistic that you'll ever get any other effect. So it's a terrible card. It's like a waste of cardboard. I wish it had a better secondary effect, but you gotta play it so that you can negate cards that Herald can't negate. But I just want to put all the Heralds out there because, you know, it's my favorite deck, yo. So we got to put the Herald flex on real quick. You know, it's not even a flex, but look at that. Look at that. Beautiful. All the Herald cards. So continue with the extra deck. We've got 2 copies of now this card is perfect at 2. You can resolve it multiple times. That's how you can clear boards going second. 1 Geldagra against Altergeist or Guru control can be a problem for them if they can't negate the Gel. You're just popping 2 back rows with 1 card. And you can always just put this back with Omega. Omega is the synchro that I chose to make most predominantly with Diviner, because he does let me rip cards from my opponent's hand. Like, what's crazy is you can spam so much in this deck that you can do a hand loop of 3 with Saphira, Omega, and the Math Mech that discards cards from your opponent's hand. Like, Omega's easy to summon because you can literally like special summon. If you really like wanted to play the Herald of Orange Light, you can special summon the Herald of Orange Light off Diviner, synchro with an extra level 6 like Herald or Saphira to make Omega. Just for example, like an extra Herald's the, you know, ideal. Make Omega rip a card out their hand. The Stick Chair combo rips a card out their hand, and in phase Saphira rip another card out their hand. So if they had the Dark Ruler no more, they might not even have it anymore. And then they're gonna draw for turn with 3 cards in hand. That's you can have 1 fairy and an Eva and just finish them off. Like, you're gonna get the rest of their hand. It's crazy. So this deck can also hand loop. You know, if it wasn't already unfair enough, it can hand loop. These are the 2 XYZs that I chose. I really want to play Dweller, but space is kind of an issue, and I like the choices right now. And it's really like the way this deck is being played. The only reason why Dweller would be good is so that you don't have to worry about burning too many negates playing against certain decks. Because you know how decks just like have so many things that they can activate, like in like monster effects engraved, you know, like cards that float, playing against spirals, like you know, when they were in full power. 1 Dweller would mean you don't even have to use that many fairies in your hand, but instead you just use most of the fairies in your hand. You know, and that's fine because Eva's a card. These cards are insane though. I like that the Math Mech does let you just clear a monster that can't be targeted or destroyed, because that's one of the problems this deck had, was like getting over cards like, you know, in Endymion, for example. So the Math Mechs are just insane. Searching pre-prep, searching, you know, Manju, like clearing cards like Stick Chair, pop, draw effects, and everything. It's crazy. Now for the links, I play Almarash for the Diviner and also the Geldagra. And these cards recur themselves. Link Revo for the Eva. These cards also, they come back. This comes back. Ritual Sanctuary helps it, and this easily comes back. So these cards recur themselves. This protects Herald from like Solemn Strike. You know, I always wanted to play it, but it was just too expensive. That's the only real reason why I didn't play it, and I just never really had access to it. Because honestly, like, it is a good card, and you know, people have always suggested it, and I've always said like, I just don't have it. And then Cross Sheep is insane in this deck. This deck can already plus so much and draw so much. Why not draw 2, discard 2, trigger Eva's effect, search 2 fairies, and then have 4 cards in your hand off of a Cross Sheep? It's crazy. Like, this deck just goes bananas. Hippo Shinogen, card's nuts. Stick Chair, you can even do your Stick Chair combo, pop this, draw, effect, add from grave, special Christia. It's stupid. It also allows the Stick Chair to put exactly 4 fairies in your grave so that you can special the Christia. So if you want like Herald Stick Chair with Christia that will search, you can just link 2 of the Star Seraphs into this, and then the extra Star Seraph in this link into something else, and then boom, you got exactly 4 fairies in the grave. So you can just make like Cross Sheep, for example. We've got Borreload also to help clearing cards that can't be targeted or destroyed. So you just use Borreload to just take it. Like, if you have to clear multiple Endymions, you know, that wouldn't be a problem, because you could just use Borreload to take 1 Endymion, use the Endymion to attack the other one, and then boom, you clear double. Then this card's just insane in this deck. Because Herald can trigger this on your opponent's turn, they're not going to have a very good time. And this paired with, like, you know, Diviner and, you know, Geldagra and stuff, like, you're just popping so many cards, it's crazy. Like, you just grind out the back row decks. Now I'm going to show you guys the combo with Diviner real quick. I don't want the deck to be, yeah. So I'm gonna show you guys the combo with Diviner. The combo with one Gale Dogger is really easy. You just dump 2 Herald Arclights, search Incantation Chalice Slime and search Inception, and then reveal Chalice Slime, discard it. You guys probably already know how to do that. If you play Incantations, that's not a new thing. So if you have Diviner plus either Dawn or even, for example, Herald of Perfection, or if you have Diviner plus, you know, like Saphira, for example, any level 6, basically, it's like combo. So what you can do with just these 2 cards alone, what gets even better is when you have extra Foolish Burial, because then it's just nuts, because you get Fairies Engraved. So you go extra Foolish Burial, dump the Herald of the Arclight, search your proxy Herald of Perfection, and then you know, you just normal summon the Diviner, activate Diviner, dump another copy of Arclight, and then you search out your ritual spell. Then you're gonna activate Dawn, tribute the Diviner, right, to summon your Herald of Perfection. You're gonna chain, you know, do your chain links, banish that at this back. This effect will resolve, and you're gonna go ahead and special summon either Eva or Cyber Egg Angel if you already had a valid target for like Ritual Sanctuary, or the you know, for example, if you had the Benton in your hand, you could just search the Merciful. But what you're gonna do is just special summon the Eva. Then you're just gonna link it into a Link Karibo, and you're gonna trigger Eva, and you're gonna search 2 fairies. So 2 cards, 2 negates, basically. So these could just be the 2 fairies you search off Eva by banishing these 2 Arclights. So you'll end up with Herald of Perfection, a Link Karibo, and 2 fairies in hand, just off of those 2 cards. It's a 2-card combo, and it's bonkers. So yeah, if you guys were wondering if Diviner is worth it, Diviner is absolutely worth it. You get protection for Herald, you have a Herald, you have 2 negates, plus the other 3 cards in your hand. This is a 2-card combo that just pluses so much. It's crazy. And like, it gets even better. If you have a Ritual Sanctuary, you can revive the Eva, leave it on field, so that when you Link Karibo to negate an attack, you can tribute that Eva to summon the Link Karibo and trigger Eva again on your opponent's turn to just get even more pluses. It's crazy. And that's the deck profile, you guys. Thank you so much for watching it. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content. I'm going to say a quick little prayer. If you guys don't like the prayer, just skip that part. But our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Jesus. Thy kingdom come, and thy will be done on earth, just as it is in heaven. Please give us this day our daily bread, Lord, and please forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, Father, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the glory, and the power, forever. In the mighty name of Jesus we pray. Thank you, Yahweh. Amen. And peace out, you guys.